All right. All right, so I'm just going to get right into it. Thank you all for coming and making the time. I guess you didn't really go anywhere, but appreciate you taking the time just to hear what we have to say and learn a bit about the expectations for the summer season. I do want to say that this is not going to be a forum to give feedback for the spring season because we've already sent out surveys for that. So please save that for a later time. I really want to just keep this short and sweet so that you can enjoy the beautiful weather and understand what to expect next week or so. All right, so I'm going to go through a bit of admin, the more boring of the boring stuff, but I thought I'd start off with that, then talk about the different age groups and the expectations in them. This will touch over all the age groups in our recreation programs, so just bear with me on the ones that might not pertain to you. We'll go through our staff, our curricula, and the Train to be a Nitro program. At the end, we'll have a chance for questions and answers. So for the admin, thought I'd just present this to everyone because I don't believe everyone is aware of the different programs offered in the club. We try to have a place for everyone to play, whether it's in the Special Olympics program, which is for any children with physical or intellectual disabilities, all the way up to our OPL, High Performance, and League One programs. We are here in this yellow recreation program, and the farther up you go, the more committed we get. If you have questions about any of the other programs, feel free to email myself or Elaine, who is on the call, but her camera is broken. But shoot us an email if you have questions, and we'll send you links and connect you with the right people to get more information. So what to expect as we start the season. I know many of you have gone through the spring season, but some of you may be new. But I just want everyone to be aware you will be getting uniforms. We will distribute them on the first session. And if you miss the first session, we'll be sure to have them. But you may have to bear with us as it gets harder and harder to find as the season goes on. You'll receive a jersey, shorts, socks, and a ball. If you ever lose your ball, please let us know. We have extras. We're happy to give you another ball. It just won't be a new ball. For our U4 to 6 players, it's strongly encouraged that they wear shin guards, and you must have socks covering them as they can be hard plastic at times, and we don't want anyone getting cuts. For U7 and up, you must wear shin guards to play. My rule of thumb is if you forget them, you can't complain if you get kicked. We try not to turn kids away just because you forgot the shin guards. It's not the end of the world, but it's really important you bring them consistently because it is a important piece of equipment and really the only piece of equipment in soccer. There should be no jewelry worn on the field. That means earrings, bracelets, necklaces. Of course, medical bracelets are fine, but if they can be covered with sweatband, that'd be best. If earrings cannot be removed, because I know when they're new piercings, that poses a problem, please tape them over. You can use a Band-Aid or medical tape to do so. Our rain-out policy. So if the only time we will cancel is if the field is unplayable, if the weather is unsafe, or the city closes the field on us. If that were to happen, we will email everyone. We will post it on our website. It will be very clearly broadcast to everyone, and we will do our best not to do that. If there is thunder or lightning throughout the session, we will have to call off the session for the next 30 minutes. Usually, if that happens after a session has started, we'd likely have to cancel the session because it's only an hour long. If there's the opportunity to postpone, we will, because we want the kids to play. But the rule in all of Ontario for soccer is if you hear if you hear thunder or see lightning, you must get off the field for the next 30 minutes. If another instance occurs, the clock resets and we wait another 30 minutes. At the end of the season, we do have a festival to cap off the season. It'll be a lot of fun. There'll be a barbecue and fun games, and it's a memorable experience. So we just want to highlight that that will happen later on at the end of the season, and details will be sent out closer to. And lastly, the PowerUp registration system. If you're on this, I'm guessing you got the email through it. Please familiarize yourself with it because it is new for many of us, but it's where you'll find your team, it's where you'll find the schedule and where some news will be posted. You can also download the app, which will help you use it at the field and see which actual fields will be on and check your schedule if needed. Age group. So the different ages we have, they start at 4 years old, going all the way up to under 16. I'm just going to walk through the different ages and the different stages of our recreation program. So each of them has slightly different goals in mind, with the sole purpose of getting kids playing the game and being active and having fun. The goal for the 4s and 5s is to get players comfortable with each other, with the coaches, following instructions, and socializing. As much as we want them to be good soccer players, we want them to learn how to be good little people because they've missed out on a lot of that opportunity. And something we'll stress a lot is physical literacy. Kids don't know how to fall down and get up. They don't know how to skip, to run backwards, to jump, and sport is a great way to learn it. So that's why you'll see things that don't involve the ball but are really important in becoming good athletes. We'll also be doing a lot of dribbling. We won't be passing the ball much at 4 and 5 because they want to play with the toy, and the toy is the ball. And we'll try to do our best to make sure everyone has a ball at their feet throughout the session. Like I said, activities will be with and without the ball, so there may involve tag games to get them moving and get them evading defenders. But when we introduce the ball, we'll try to have a high ball to player ratio so that they get lots of touches. The games will be free flowing, and at times there may be more than one ball so that they can get more touches, because the idea at this point is to get them to chase the ball and kick it in the goal. And it doesn't matter if it's this ball or that ball. We want them to enjoy just playing the game. Under 6, the development goal stays pretty well the same, but now we're looking to get them a lot more comfortable with the ball and to start understanding the rules of the game, such as no hands and the boundaries and the importance of shooting in the net. We will continue to work on physical literacy in the U6 age groups, and it'll be a strong part of the curriculum. And the expectations for the activities and games will be that we'll be doing things with and without the ball again, but the games will become a bit more structured so that they're playing in a direction, and we'll introduce more and more structure with the boundary as the season goes on. The under 7 to under 10 age groups will be looking to get more into the tactics of the game, and that will largely be based on the shape and using the space on the field and using different techniques in the game of soccer, such as dribbling, passing, running with the ball, shooting, and so on. We won't go into too many of the fine details and fine techniques of the game because, again, this is a recreation program. If you're looking for even more technical and detail-oriented training, you should look into the other programs I mentioned earlier. Physical literacy will be less and less apparent as they progress through these ages because kids should be becoming more and more familiar with their bodies and different movements, but it will be something we're working on throughout. And the expectations for their activities and games will be that we'll still do things without the ball, but the ball will be introduced as much as possible. And we may start things without a ball, such as a game of tag to evade a defender, and adding a ball in so it becomes more of a soccer-looking activity. Games will be much more structured. At the U7 and U8 age groups, we'll have a game leader, which is their coach who will more or less officiate the game without a whistle. And then later on, we'll have a referee at the under 9 age groups to enforce the laws of the game and introduce a whistle and hand signals and so on. The under 11 and under 12 age groups are at the older end of our recreation program, where they still have a coach. And the goal at this age is to get them competing and really enjoying the game for the rest of their lives. And at this age groups, we look to make the activities more complex, especially as the season goes on. and we will have a referee officiating them, and that'll be an entry-level referee, so they're certified referee. The under 13 and up age groups will be looking to keep players interested in the game. We want our young teenagers and old teenagers playing, being active, being healthy. It's a great chance to make friends and stay in touch. So we want to make sure that the playing formats are fluid and we get the best experience for them. We may have to adapt the playing format as we go, because we know the summer will be busy for many families. If we have 10 kids show up, we could do 5v5. If we have 20 kids show up, we can do 9v9 with a sub. We'll make sure to get the most out of it for the kids, because at the end of the day, we want them to stay interested and be passionate about the game. All right, and before I get into the staff, I forgot to mention at the start, if you do have questions, you can put them in the chat. Elaine is monitoring it and she'll write them down so that we can go over it at the end, or you can save it for the end. For staff, so who are our staff? Our staff are members of the club and community. Many of them have played in our house league programs, have played or still play in our competitive development or OPDL teams. And for many of them, it's their first job. They have a passion for the game, and they, for the most part, enjoy working with children. And if they don't, they've quickly learned maybe this isn't for them. But it's really important to keep in mind this is their first job, and we are doing everything we can to support them and get the most out of them for the kids. What training have they had? So for everyone to know, they've all had to apply and gone through an interview process. We haven't just put a sign-up sheet and let whoever walk on the field. There is an interview process for every single one of the staff that we have. And in the spring, we had over 100 staff. This summer, we're looking around 60 or 70 staff. They've all completed Respect in Sports and the Game Leader program put on by Ontario Soccer. And we've all done a preseason training to get them on the same page of expectations for their role as a coach or a referee. We also encourage them to continue their development with additional courses so that it's not just do these couple things and that's it. We're constantly looking at ways to improve them and have them grow, because that just means a better environment for our kids. Look to support them by giving them feedback throughout the season. We're not just leaving them to their own devices. We're checking in, we're talking to them before and after sessions, and we're really going to hammer this home with our supervisors in the summer. The spring season was very busy, big volume, and a lot of new coaches on the field. And to be honest with everyone, I didn't get the chance to support them as much as I wanted to. So now in the summer, we're really going to make sure we do that. And we've already had a meeting about that to make sure it happens. All of this is to create the best environment for them, which in turn creates the best environment for our players. I'm never mad at one of our staff if they make a mistake, as long as they learn from it and look to improve. Just like we're not mad at the kids when they make a mistake on the field, we want them to learn from it and get better at the game. If concerns do come up, please feel free to approach us. You can approach myself at the field. I practically live there, so I'm sure you'll find me somewhere walking around in my black shirt. If not, you can find some of our supervisors. They'll be clearly identifiable because they will be overseeing the sessions and trying to interact with parents as much as possible. If you don't feel comfortable talking about it at the field, or you don't have the time, feel free to email myself or Elaine. We'll definitely get back to you. It might take a bit of time depending how busy we are, but we don't leave any of those concerns unanswered. Lastly, it's not quite staff, but the volunteer coaches. We had very few volunteer coaches this spring season, and we definitely could see the difference. If any of you are interested or able to help out, please let us know, because it makes for a much better experience for the kids. You wouldn't be responsible for the soccer bit. You wouldn't have to teach them the activities or run the session. You would be there more in a way to support and be more of an adult figure at times who hopefully knows how to manage kids as well, because it'll help with things like substitutions, maybe a snack schedule, and just getting a better environment for the kids. And having a volunteer coach really makes a huge difference. With some groups, it can take a good season into a great season. So if any of you are interested, please let us know. And don't worry about being away for even a month at a time, because the month that you are there really makes for a better experience. The curricula. So all of our groups have slightly different curricula, and I'm just going to go through a bit about how we go about it. So our curricula are designed to create the best environment, and it's dependent on the different stages of kids' development. So it's not always the same thing. Like I said earlier, we're looking to integrate the ball as much as we can, but at the younger ages, it's really important that they become comfortable with their bodies and different movements, and then we add the ball in as they go. So that's why you'll see lots of tag games. Tag games are a great way to understand ways to evade defenders, to change direction, to change speed, all without overcomplicating it by adding a ball in. As they get more comfortable doing these things, we'll then add the ball in and now start introducing ways to do it with the ball. We look to really create confident players, confident people, and create an environment where they can learn. Like I said, I'm not mad at staff for making mistakes. We shouldn't be mad at kids for making mistakes. That's how they learn, and that's how we want it to be on the field. We use a GAG format. So the GAG format is game, activity, activity, game. That means we always start with a game and end with a game, and have that learning opportunity in the middle during those activities. The game is a great place to learn, but the activities are a great way to focus on certain things such as dribbling or beating a defender 1v1 or defending or whatever the plan is. We find doing this GAG format also lets them start with something they love and really gets them running to the pitch to get playing, and then ends with a good taste in their mouth with a game to cap off the evening. Why do we have activities and games? Some families prefer games only, some want more activities, but we need to find a balance. It gives us a chance to give instruction and to really focus on different techniques, tactics, and soccer skills, as well as a chance for players to make decisions. You won't see us putting down cones and having them dribble through cones too often, because there's far less decisions in that than there would be in a soccer game. That's why you'll see things like tag, where instead of having a cone that's stationary, you'll have a person, a defender, that is moving and unpredictable, and that makes you as the attacker or the player make a lot of decisions, really learn based on what's happening, versus in a static environment such as dribbling through cones or just shooting at a net. So we're always looking to make it as game-like as possible. We also look to have as few lines as possible. I hate when I see kids standing around, and if you ever do see that, please let me know. If there is a line, usually it's 2 or 3 kids, and it's a quick break and they're back into it. But the less lines means the more touches, means the more playing, the more development, the more fun. So we're always looking to keep the kids active, keep them playing. They're only there for an hour, so we want to make the most of it. This is just a sample of the session plans the coaches get. So all our coaches follow the same session plan every session. The entire season is planned out. And you can see it breaks down the week, the age group, and the objectives of what they're looking to do. Also the outcomes of what we're looking for all the kids, most of the kids, and some of the kids, and keywords that are important in the topic at hand. This is just showing that first initial game. You'll see there is a shape, and that's just very basic shape for the kids to understand and help them see how they can make the field bigger. We don't go into too much of left wing, right wing, and striker, because for this group, they're only 4 and 5 years old. Over here, you see the procedure, and it tells them exactly how to do the game at hand and the different things we're touching on throughout the session. The activities we work on, you can see here a freeze tag game. It breaks down what we're playing, what it looks like, and the different keywords that are very important, such as scanning, changing speed, direction, and finding space. And then the second activity, sometimes you'll see us doing games that look a little silly, such as octopus, but once you introduce the ball into it, it really gives the players a chance to do something that might not be too soccer-like, but has a lot of transferable skills to the game. And you'll see there's lots of progressions and regressions so that we can adapt it for the group we're working with. and we have the final game to end with. So all our coaches have this and should be following this. This is what we'll be making sure is happening. And if you ever have concerns about the sessions, please feel free to let me know, because I took some time to put them together, but I know they're not perfect, and I'm always looking for feedback. Train to be a nitro, so TTBN. Some of you might be familiar with it, with the program, some of you might not be, but the Train to be a Nitro program is a great chance to see if your kids want to do more, want to be more committed in soccer. It's a great way to kind of get a taste of it and then decide, is this something you want to commit more time, more driving, and more money to, or to see if maybe soccer's not for them, maybe it's another sport. An email will go out later on with the dates of the program, because it will start a week into our season, so that the first week we focus on getting organized, and it will go until I think mid-August or so, but the exact details will be sent soon. Why is it worth attending? Well, it's a great chance to get more touches on the ball. It's some of our top coaches in the program, so that they get the best environment possible, and it's at no additional cost in our outdoor season. So anyone that's part of our recreation program is welcome to come attend. During the fall and winter seasons, it exists as a standalone program that you can sign up for at a later time. That wraps up our little presentation. How did I do for time? Not bad, 6:26. So I'll now allow everyone to unmute. You just bear with me here, and then if you have questions, you can just go ahead and unmute to allow persons to unmute themselves. So if you have a question, feel free to unmute and ask, and I'll be checking the question and answers that Elaine may have gotten.
Hi, Nick. Sorry, I joined in the middle of the meeting. I was hoping that the recording of the meeting will be sent out, so I can hear the whole content.
Yeah, you missed that part too, but we'll be sending it out as soon as possible. Once we get uploaded to YouTube, we'll send an email with the link so you can catch up on what you missed.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
All right.
Did you want to start with questions?
Hi, Nick. I'll go with June. June, go ahead.
Oh, hi. Hi, Nick. Yes, I just have a question about the attendance. So if we're missing a game, do we need to email a coach or yourself?
No, you can actually mark your attendance on the PowerUp app, so then the coaches can check it. It's a nice tool for us to use to know what to expect. We know families won't be using it routinely, so we don't go by it completely, but that's something you can just let the coach know the session before, and then we always adapt the sessions to the numbers that are there. So if it's really low, because it is the summer months, we might combine with other groups, so it's not a big deal.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
No problem.
Hi, Nick. I'm just wondering, I have some soccer experience myself. I was thinking about joining up as a volunteer coach, but I was wondering if you could elaborate a little about what exactly that entails.
Yeah, so the volunteer coaches, we want you to help as much as you're comfortable helping, but we also don't want you to take over and then not allow our coaches to do what they're there to do. So as long as it's a team effort between you, then we're happy with you helping out. And that's where, if you want to coach more, I'm happy to give you access to the session plans. That way you know what's coming up and what to plan for, and you can be an actual part of the session. But if you're more comfortable just doing the substitutions and being the person that high-fives the kids, that's a great help as well. So it's all about what you're comfortable with, and we'll kind of tailor it to each coach's specific interests and go from there. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. So I appreciate that. So there's some flexibility on that. So how do we sign up? Is it kind of like on the fly or like on the spot that we?
So you can either email Elaine who's the administrator that sends you everything. You can email her to let her know, or you can let us know at the field and talk to the staff coaches there, because they will be very happy to know that they have someone that will help them wrangle the kids at times. So it's whatever's easier for you. And then if you are helping, we do have coach jerseys for volunteer coaches, so we'll make sure to get you one as soon as we can.
Okay, great. But the long and short of it is we're there in a support role to assist the staff coaches. Is that right?
Yeah, but if you're looking to be more involved, we're more than happy for that to happen. I'm always very cautious, because if the volunteer coach starts doing things that either the club or the team isn't happy with, it can become an awkward dynamic. So I just want to remind people that we do have staff coaches and volunteer coaches. I want them to help as much as possible, but we need to keep the best environment for the kids.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Right. All right, I'm going to go to the sheet Elaine's so lovely to put together for me. So I'll just run through some of the questions that people have asked. Are cleats required for 4 years old? Cleats are not required until probably 7 years old, the under 7 age groups. Cleats are better because if it's wet, if the grass is long, it's easy to slip. But for 4s, 5s, and 6s, I know it can be hard to find the sizes. It can be they can be growing too fast, so it's not the end of the world. So it's completely your preference if you'd like to get cleats for those 4, 5, and 6 age groups. Another question, is Team Snap app not being used this year? No, we've transitioned over to PowerUp. No more Team Snap for the rec program for the time being. What age can we try out for nitros? Is there currently a U6 group? So there's no U6 group for the nitros program. The nitros development program starts at under 8, and that's what the Training to Be a Nitro program is for. In the outdoor season, so in the spring and the summer, the Training to Be a Nitro program, like I said, is part of our recreation program. But in the indoor seasons, you can sign up for Training to Be a Nitro and stand alone, and you can actually sign up for more than one a week, so you can almost build your own schedule with that. Next question is, to confirm, next Tuesday, each player should show up with their shoes and shin pads on, and they will get their kit at the field. That is correct, and that would be great. I doubt I'll see everyone show up like that, but if you show up like that, it will definitely facilitate getting ready, because they'll get the jersey, the shorts, and the socks to put over the shin guards, and they'll be playing as soon as they can. Is there a goalie-specific training for under 13? There is no goalie-specific training for our recreation program, but if you are interested, please email Elaine or myself, and we can connect you with our goalkeeper, our manager of goalkeeping, Rossi Pala, and we can see if there's a fit in our goalkeeper program for your child. Someone have a question? Yeah.
One quick question regarding those teams. If it's recreational teams, so how we will come to know in which team is gonna play?
Sorry, can you say that again?
One Saturday when we are coming in, so which team is gonna like my kid is gonna play? How we will come to know?
So Elaine will be sending out the teams if she has not done so already. She'll be sending out an email with the teams you're on, or the team your child's on, as well as the field map, so you know where to go in the schedule. So you should either have gotten an email or will be receiving one very soon.
Okay, so it will be on the PowerUp. We'll be able to come to know, correct?
Sorry, there was a fire truck, so I couldn't hear you.
On the PowerUp application, we'll come to know whether it is in which field, which team is going to play, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if you go on the PowerUp app, you'll see the team you're on and the field they're on for that day.
All right. Thanks a lot.
No problem. And okay, so I got a couple more questions here. So for the younger kids, will they get to simulate actual game play? So that's why, like I said, we start and end with a game. I don't know if by actual gameplay you might mean a larger format. The formats we use are all what's recommended and used around the world and in Ontario.
People left.
And that's where we look to, the formats look to get the most out of it for the kids, where they can get touches on the ball and the field's appropriate size. So hopefully that answers that question. Uniform is provided. And shin guards are strongly recommended for 5 years olds. And that's all the questions I have on the sheets.
Hi, Nick. I just have another question.
Yep.
I'm just logged into PowerUp and I'm looking at my son's schedule. So I thought I had enrolled him in the Saturday games, and I'm seeing some games on Mondays as well.
Yep. So that's part of the Train to Be a Nitro, the optional program. So you get an email about that, explaining a bit more in detail, but it's optional. You don't have to attend, but we put it in the schedule so everyone's aware of when and where it is. And if in the case it's canceled, we can notify everyone.
I just missed about, sorry to interrupt. I just missed about the Nitro program. So can you just give a little bit quick glimpse about the Nitro program, how it has been?
So if you have a question about the Nitros program, you can, like the Nitros development program, you can email us and we can send you info.
Okay, thank you.
So sorry, Nick, I'm actually on the PowerUp website. I just discovered that I'm the coach. So
Good job.
that's news to me. So does that mean like I'm the staff coach, or is there a staff coach there?
The staff coaches are separate. So if it says you're the coach, that's just the volunteer coach. And the staff coaches we have a coach for every team. So they'll be put on there separately.
Okay, great, thanks.
Hey, Nick, it's Fareed again. I'm the guy who missed most of this, so I won't ask any questions other than the fact that my wife signed up our daughter for under 13, and so she's not here, coming back from camp next week. So I think it's Wednesdays when they play. So I guess we'll miss 1 week. And what about the uniforms and all that?
Yeah, so we bring the uniform for the first couple weeks.
Right.
So we'll always keep it around. If anyone's really late in joining in the season, maybe shoot us an email to confirm, because we can't bring it every single week. It's a lot for the staff at times. But we'll always have it available and be able to find your uniform. So
yeah, she'll just be off for 1 week, just coming back from camp. So and the next question was PowerUp. Would we have received PowerUp registration somehow, or should we just go in and?
So you would have registered through PowerUp. So just double check who registered, what email it was done with, and then it should all be.
Sorry, I got to talk to my wife. Sorry about that.
That's usually the answer. But I didn't want to say it on the Zoom. So
I just happened to choose the short straw to get on the meeting, and I failed miserably. So anyhow.
no problem.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Great. I see a couple hands up. Phone. You can go.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I'm just wondering, when I have the same question. When I register my daughter, I check her schedule. I register her for Thursday. I just checked the schedule in PowerUp, and then also scheduled to be on Monday. But we have other conflict on Monday. We won't be able to attend the Monday training. Is that going to be okay?
Yeah, that's fine. So that's the Training via Nitro program, and we'll get an email will be sent out to make sure everyone understands. But the Training via Nitro program is optional, and if you don't attend, that's fine. We just want everyone to know what options they have.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mark?
Hi there. I do apologize if you said this earlier, but for the Nitro program, is it unisex?
For the Training via Nitro program?
Yes.
So the Training via Nitro program will break it up by age groups and gender.
Okay.
But depending on numbers, we may combine. It's all about creating the best environment. So it really depends on who comes to the field, because it is an optional program. If we have 4 boys and 4 girls, we might combine them. If they're better off being separate, we'll keep them separate. It's completely fluid. So
sounds good.
We'll see what happens at the field.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Lorena?
Yes, hi, sorry, I came in late to the meeting. I just want to double check the PowerUp application. Is it PowerUp Connect? Is that the one we should download?
That's the app on the phone. So if you download that and then sign in there, you'll be able to access lots of the information.
Okay, perfect. Great. Thank you so much.
No problem. All right. And someone asked if Training View Nitro begins at age 5. Training View Nitro begins at under 7. And then we can see if on under 6 players, if it's appropriate for them. You're welcome to try it out, but if it's not appropriate, we'll let you know. Because again, we're always looking for the best environment for the kids.
Sorry, an age under 7 means they're 7 years old. There's sometimes.
So the way the ages work, under 7, for example, means they're turning 7 this year in 2022. So they would be either 6 turning 7 or have already turned 7.
Thanks.
No problem. And someone asked if you want to add another child. Is it too late? No, it's not too late unless the program is full. So it's not so much a deadline thing. It's more about numbers. So you can be able to check that when you register. You'll see if there's any availability on the day you're looking for. Do kids need cleats? I could tell you to watch the whole thing again, but I won't. Cleats are strongly recommended for 4, 5s, and 6s and required at 7 and up. We won't send someone home over forgetting cleats, but it gets hard to play and can be dangerous at times if they're not in the proper footwear. All right, I think I conquered all the questions. Okay,
Christina,
so
one last question.
so close,
sorry.
but okay.
Sorry. Do you recommend a place to buy cleats and shin guards and whatnot? Do you guys have any relationships with?
Yeah, so if you go to L&M Taylor, which is near Yonge and Davisville, I know they give a discount for members of our club. I want to say it's 25%, but don't quote me on it. But they usually have good availability and good selection. That being said, when they're young, anywhere works. If you find a good deal, just grab them because you know they're going to grow. And on that note, unless Amelie, do you have a question? No? Maybe? Yeah.
I got one question for you.
Yeah.
Would parents be allowed to watch the kids play? Sorry, it's our first time joining.
Yeah. So we want you to watch and we want you to stick around because just in case anything happens, you're there. It's always great when the parents are there and involved in it, but the parents won't be expected to participate except for the under 4s and under 5s. That's when parent participation is required because we want to make for a good experience and the kids are young and just learning to get comfortable in a team environment and in the game.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, no problem. All right, I'm just gonna say we're done here. So thank you everyone for jumping on. And if you have any other questions, feel free to email us. The Zoom will be available. The recording will be available later on. We'll send it out to everyone and we're looking forward to starting off this season. All right, take care.
Thanks, Nick. Really helpful.
No problem.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nick.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers.